Hi there, I'm Sarah Colas. Welcome to the Dressing Up podcast, where we talk about all things bridal dresses and general dressing up topics. I love to encourage women to dress up while expressing their personal style with confidence on how to do so. Visit sarahcolas.com to book a bridal alterations fitting, or even inquire about designing the custom couture bridal gown of your dreams. I am so excited to talk to you about this next topic. Let's get started. Hi, friends. We are back talking about all things mothers today. So mother the bride, mother the groom. This one is for you. So at the end of the day, this is a really big deal for you as well. You have one of your children getting married. I always say, in terms of dressing up and just like a really fun day of events, you always have a few major milestones throughout your lifetime. So one would be prom, you have your wedding day, both very important dresses in your life. I think the third most important dress in your life as a woman would be then your child's wedding day, the gown that you wore to that. So I think this is a very important moment in your life as well. And I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. And I'm going to go through a few tips for you before, after, and post wedding. Let's go ahead and start with the dresses themselves. I know what you're thinking. You've been searching all over the internet for the perfect dress. Buying dresses in stores has gotten more and more challenging over the years, especially post-COVID. Stores aren't having as much in stock that they used to. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area, I do have a couple of recommendations. So you can reach out to me, or I will say just a few here. Of course, you can try Macy's. We have Clothing Cove in Milford, and then also Becker's Bridal in Lansing. So those are some great in-person options, but also online, there are dozens and dozens of various sites. And yes, I have heard over and over again that you bought 10 different dresses online, tried them all on, and returned 9 of them. I wish it didn't have to be that way for you. I wish it could be a lot easier, but I do realize, and I sympathize with you, that this is a very tough gown to find for you that is equally your style, something that you're looking for, matches the style of the wedding, and you like it. So I realize all those things lining up perfectly can be a challenge. I alter mother's dresses. I don't custom make them, but I will alter them, of course. So a couple things on alterations. I would advise not to buy the dress too big. I think often the mothers like to buy the dresses several sizes too big just to be extra, extra safe. But of course, if we don't have to do that, then let's try not to do that. So either get measured or measure yourself if you're buying online, and just make sure you're getting the size that best fits with your body shape. Keep in mind, as always, when buying dresses online or anywhere, if the dress has a fuller skirt, so it's like more of a ball gown or an A-line style, your hip measurement does not matter that much. So really focus on the bust and waist measurements, and then you can often ignore the hip measurement if the dress is very loose in that area. And don't be afraid to be just different and unique in the style that you choose. You don't have to choose something similar to what your best friends wore to their children's wedding. You can choose something totally different. And also don't be afraid to choose a style that's different for you. I love ball gown styles. Brides often wear ball gown styles, but I feel like other than your own wedding day, there's really no other time to wear a ball gown except when it's your child's wedding and you're looking for a dress for your child's wedding to wear to that. I would urge you to consider a ball gown style. So something with a little bit of a larger skirt. For mothers right now, what's very in is like all over beaded, stretchy fabric, just slim fit, little sleeve maybe. So those are great too. And actually one note on that style is often if the outer layer is sheer and the inner layer, obviously you have your lining with the hem, your shoes are most likely going to show because the sheer fabric will show your shoes a little bit. So just keep that in mind. But yes, I would advise you to try a different style of dress than you might normally be interested in, and just check it out and see what you think. Also, for colors, for dress colors, as the mother, the bride, or the mother, the groom, my personal opinion is that the color of your dress does not matter. That is my personal opinion, and I'll explain to you why. So think about, you have your bridal party, say they're wearing light pink dresses, and the groom and the groomsmen are wearing just black tuxes, white shirts type of thing. If your mother-in-law walked down in a red dress, sure, it would clash, but honestly, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Does it really matter? There are going to be guests at the wedding that show up in all different sorts of colors that won't match the theme of your wedding. And keep in mind, you might have one photo that includes all the bridesmaids and the mothers. You might take that photo. You might even not even take that photo at all. So I urge you to consider, how much does that matter? So if you're a bride listening to this, I urge you to not require a certain color to the mothers when they're picking out their dresses. Now, if you're a mother listening to this, my advice to you, if your bride has not defined a color for the dress, I advise you to not ask her. Okay, you know what I mean? So if she's not requiring you to choose a champagne dress, don't ask her what color you should wear, because it's already hard enough finding a dress that you like, fits you great, and you want to wear to the wedding, and then throwing another really difficult, challenging checkbox to check is just that much more work for you. So if she hasn't advised on the color, chances are she doesn't really care that much. And also, when you're choosing a dress, I advise you not to ask too many people's opinions, because they will give it to you. And at the end of the day, I think all that matters is that you feel amazing in the dress that you're wearing. And that's really all that matters at the end of the day. What's really been awesome in the last several years is mothers throwing the bridal shower. So I believe kind of gone are the days when the bridesmaids themselves would throw the showers. It's more often been an aunt or one of the mothers themselves throwing the shower. So that is just so amazing. And congrats on offering that to your bride and groom. And I'm sure they appreciate it so much. What I think, as a bride and also as a planner of the bridal shower, I do think it's very smart if the bride just stays out of the planning for the shower. If you're a bride listening to this and someone is throwing you a shower, they are hosting the party, and you are, in a lot of ways, a guest of the party. So I do think it's great if you could just take a back seat to that whole thing. If you want to give a little bit of input, go ahead, but I would just let them take care of it for you. And that's what they've offered to do. And that's what makes not only your life easier, but theirs as well. So that's awesome. If you are a mother listening to this, if the bride hasn't specified certain things about the shower, just don't even ask her. Don't involve too much of the bride's input in the decision making. If she doesn't speak up, then don't ask. Just go ahead and just continue on planning unless she comes up with something. So again, if you ask, there will be an answer given, and then you will feel like you have to stick to that answer, whether or not that answer was a very strongly opinionated answer or not. So I would just advise you to just go ahead and take care of that for her. She's very busy, and I'm sure she is very, very appreciative of that. And then it's always, of course, I know you're feeling it as a mother of the groom, it can be more difficult to be involved and help with a lot of the planning than it is the mother of the bride. So I realize that being the mother groom has its own set of challenges. And if the bride invites you to any sort of wedding related or planning festivities, consider that a great honor. And I hope she does involve you some, but please do not get offended. If not, there are a lot of people involved in this wedding. And sometimes you can only have a certain number of people with you, say dress shopping or wherever it might be. So don't be offended. But if you do get invited to certain things, just very much consider that an honor and just enjoy your time being there. Also, just in general, throughout the whole wedding process, ask how you can help as opposed to waiting around for the bride to involve you. Just be sure to make it clear that you can and want to help in any way at all, so that she feels comfortable when something does come up, that she feels comfortable asking you for it. Because I feel like sometimes as the bride, you might feel embarrassed or hesitant to ask the mother of the groom to do a favor for you or take time out of her day to do something, when really both sides would enjoy that sort of help. So I think just make it clear as the mother of the groom that you're there whenever they're ready for your involvement, input, or help. I think also a great thing to task your mother of the grooms with too, it would be things, say like the welcome bags, something that, you have a lot of out of town guests coming through and you want to do a welcome bag at the hotel. That's like a great thing that you can offload onto your mother of the groom or even mother of the bride. I think that they would be happy to help you in that way. So there are lots of different things throughout the wedding planning process that you can involve them with and just completely offload to take time off of the bride's plate, but also so that the mother of the groom and mother of the bride feel like they're involved and they're contributing in some sort of way. Now, this piece of advice I received from someone was to help clean up after the wedding if possible. Sure, in a perfect world, that would be great. I am hesitant to fully give that advice. So I just want to kind of pick my own brain here with this type of topic, just so that you can kind of hear both sides. Sure, it is great to help clean up after the wedding. The bride and groom can just relax, go about the rest of their night, and then having your families help clean up at the end of the night. In theory, that sounds great. And I think it would be really awesome if that's what ended up happening for you. But as the mother, the bride, mother, the groom, you want to enjoy your day as well. And I think that it kind of taints the whole party aspect at the end of the night. If you know that at the end of the night, you have a whole hour of work to do, lugging stuff back and forth from the venue to the car. So if you're a bride listening to this, I would urge you to have a day of coordinator that can take up care of those things for you, or even just some of your friends to do that as opposed to your own parents. This is their special day as well. So I personally feel like it would be great if your families can just totally enjoy the night and relax and have other people take care of those cleaning up activities after the wedding. Now, also, as a mother of the bride or mother of the groom, if your daughter or son asks for your opinion throughout the wedding planning process, don't withhold your opinion just to be super nice. I mean, that is great. But if they're asking for your opinion, they genuinely want your opinion. And of course, in the modern day world, things in the wedding planning process are always changing, and your son or daughter might not be doing their wedding in quite the traditional ways. And I urge you to just fully support them. And they want your support. And I know there are things that you might not agree with, but at the end of the day, I'm sure you just want your child to be happy, and just supporting them through the stress and fun and excitement of all the wedding planning is everything they've ever wanted from you. So just remember that this is a very special day for all of you. And I urge you to keep a very positive light and just enjoy the process as much as you possibly can while supporting your children. Let's talk a little bit about the wedding day itself. So live in the moment, of course. I mean, we all know this, be present. It flies by. It goes by so quickly. We hear that all the time. And my little bit of advice on that, obviously, is just to be present. But, if you're at your wedding dress fitting or at your daughter's wedding dress fitting with me, right? Don't be thinking about, your cake tasting tomorrow. Don't be thinking about, the meeting you have with the planner later tonight. At the wedding dress fitting, for example, let's just stay present and talk about the wedding dress itself and stay on those sorts of topics so that we can fully enjoy the moment and not allow all these activities to pass us by simply by thinking about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And then before you know it, it's all over. So live in the moment and be present. Of course, be an advocate for the bride or groom, but we still hope that this wedding day is planned enough that you have a coordinator, or that you're just not busy with silly things on the wedding day. Silly things being like, for example, this box has to be taken to the groom's suite because it has the ring box in it, blah, 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 blah. So having a bridesmaid take it over for you, or a groomsman come pick it up. Don't be asking your parents or being a parent that is doing silly tasks like that. My advice, the whole morning getting ready for the wedding, that's a very special moment with the bride, the bridesmaids, and the mothers, and of course the groom and the groomsmen. But as a mother, I would urge you to try to stay in that room as much as possible while the bride is getting ready. Those are some very, very, very special moments that you have with your daughter. This is a highly anticipated day, and those are all the quiet moments before all the hectic craziness of the day really begins. So I urge you to just really stay present and be with your daughter during those moments, or son. Also, on the wedding day, ready? Don't be late, okay? Don't appear flustered. Don't forget anything. Don't be all concerned about little details of how the wedding day is going. Up until the day of the wedding, you have already done all this pre-planning. Everything should be falling into place. If something's going wrong, which it will, just let it slide or try to ask somebody else to take care of it. The bride and groom obviously shouldn't be taking care of issues, but I don't think that the mothers should as well. I think that's when either a bridesmaid, groomsman, or some other friend or family member can step in and help with those problems as they arise, if need be. Also, let's think about wedding day timeline. If you're getting your hair and makeup done as the mother of the bride or mother of the groom, I urge you to not go last. Okay, let's have a bridesmaid go last, not the maid of honor, not the bride, not the mother. Okay, so those particular people, I would urge you to not be last getting your hair and makeup done, because, well, first of all, what's most important is that the bride enjoys her hair and makeup. We all know that. But if a bridesmaid's hair and makeup isn't quite exactly how they wanted it, that's kind of okay. But I think what's most important right after the bride would be the mother. So if something needs to be adjusted, she still has time to have those adjustments made before all the photos start taking place. So you don't want to miss out on that. So I would urge you to not be last getting your hair and makeup done. Speak up when you want certain pictures taken on the wedding day, preferably before the wedding day. Ahead of time would be great. So for example, getting a photo of you and your husband as a couple would be great. So mother of the groom, father of the groom, like make sure to ask the bride and groom to add that to their wedding photography list to give to the photographer so they can make sure they can get those photos. If you want a particular photo with, say, you as a mother and your sister and the bride, because you three are a good trio and you just want that photo, speak up about it, because what we don't want to hear is after the wedding you're like, oh, I really wish I would have gotten a photo of this or with this person. Well, then it's far too late. So speak up, but also speak up ahead of time. So that's great. So another thing it's easy to get distracted as the mother, the bride, mother, the groom on the wedding day, because you're getting pulled in all different sorts of directions. You have lots of guests coming to this wedding and you want to talk with them, of course, socialize, have fun, and also be sure to spend some time enjoying yourself on the dance floor instead of socializing the entire time. I think it's great to have a balance. So make sure you do a lot of socializing, but make sure you get out on the dance floor as well and dance with your bride and groom and just enjoy those special moments that you won't ever get back again. So just my advice is just to keep the socializing a little bit restricted, just so you have time to enjoy the night yourself. Also, don't go missing. Know the order of events, know the schedule ahead of time. Don't be asking the bride and groom on the wedding day. For example, my mother sadly missed the bouquet toss because she was talking with others in the other room. So just make sure that you know when those things are happening and that you are there and present and know the schedule, just so you don't miss any of those important moments. So know when all the special traditions are happening. You don't want to miss wedding big events because you were chatting with people in the hallway. And okay, let's back up a moment for the getting ready moments as well, or really anytime throughout the wedding day. Don't take phone calls in the getting ready room. I advise this to all bridesmaids, groomsmen, but this applies to parents as well. All the special moments on the wedding day, no one wants to feel like they have to be quiet because someone's talking on the phone. So if you have to take phone calls, just step outside. All right, let's talk about gifting. Gifting as the parents, just to throw out some ideas your way. So I think it's always nice as the parents, regardless of how little or none of the wedding that you are actually paying for, I think it's always nice to have a little memento from your parents on your wedding day. So one thing would be if you have any sort of family heirlooms that you want to pass down, giving that to your son or daughter on their wedding day is extra super special. So if you have things that you were going to pass down to them anyway, it's a really great moment to do that. Or just like a sentimental family item, like say, I don't know, like grandpa's handkerchief or something like that. Those would be really special moments to do those things. And I think jewelry is a great gift to give the bride on her wedding day, as opposed to, say, if you're gifting as a bridesmaid to the bride or whatever it might be. I do always like to maybe give like perishable items or like perfume or something that she doesn't feel like she has to keep forever. But as a parent to the bride or groom, I think this is the moment that you can give those really special items that they are going to keep the rest of their lives. So for example, if you're a bride listening to this and looking for gift ideas for you and your mother and or sisters, one really great thing I did for my wedding was I gifted my sisters and my mother a heart necklace. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see this. I wear this 99% of the time. It's just a simple little necklace, but it's from Etsy, and it's the kind where it's like the heart was punched out of this circle gold piece that my mom's necklace is made of. So all the hearts, connect into my mom's necklace. So that's really sweet. So that's some great gifting ideas. Other jewelry, of course, and of any kind. Waterford is always great. If you really can't come up with ideas, there's some great options on the Waterford website or various other items like that. Definitely a card, though. So a card from you as the parents to the bride and or groom,
is always super, super special and is way more sentimental than any gift that you could ever give them. If you're not planning on gifting them anything, which is totally fine, I would highly recommend at least writing them a very nice card that they can hold on to forever. And likewise for the bride and groom. So as the bride and groom, you should write the parents, both sets of parents of the bride and groom, a very special note that they can hold on to for the rest of their lives as well, and remember those special moments. If you are a mother of the groom or father of the groom and you want to gift something to the bride, I think what would make a lot of sense is giving them that gift on the rehearsal dinner night is great. Or, just as parents giving it to the couple, I think it's really awesome to do those sorts of things on the rehearsal dinner night so that everyone is there. No one's rushing. We're not trying to stick to a very particular schedule. And I think that's a really great moment to have that little bit of time to create memories. And then, of course, post-wedding, once the wedding's all over, very sad, I know. Always dwell on the positives. When you want to talk about the wedding, keep those memories alive by talking about all the positive things that happened on that day, reminding them how beautiful they looked, how happy they looked. Talk about all the fabulous feelings that you had watching all of those special traditions and moments. We don't need to talk about who got drunk or what mistakes happened or what mistakes the planner or the venue made. We don't need to talk about those things. Okay, so let's dwell on all of the positives because that's what the bride and groom truly want to remember. And it's also, I think, what you should remember as well. And that really goes for anything in life. To always remember the positives is super important and helps keep those special memories alive. So thank you so much for listening. As always, if you have any questions or ideas for future topics or just general thoughts and advice to future brides, couples, parents, anyone at all, let me know. I would so appreciate hearing that. Thanks so much. See you next time.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode has allowed you to approach the world with greater confidence in your own personal style. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out through email or inquiry form on the website. I hope you are all ready to go and get dressed up. I look forward to sharing more dressing up tips with you in future episodes. See you there.